I will show you some different scenarios, even the guts of our system, because I like you to draw your own conclusions. And those scenarios are only a few ones. In the case MAuthor and Q4 were integrated, there could be many other alternatives. I'd like to mention we have this website to present and introduce the concept of semantic cross-publishing. In there, everyone can download the software to connect you to our cloud server and test the technology on their own. The software to download is a modified and reduced version of our editorial system, Q4, and it's prepared to connect automatically to the cloud. And what you will see when you log in is this, an empty publication ready to be processed. Once inside, you can check out the pages and start editing them. This is a completely normal InDesign document that has been prepared with Q4, so as to information entities are described beyond InDesign. This is our contents palette, which is used to define the contents and its parts, and as you will see here, we have two information entities. As you can see, this text and this image, all of these are part of the first one, and in this other page, we have only a box as a part of the second one. Okay, there are two main ways to produce books in InDesign. One is drawing boxes and placing text and images inside, but in some cases there is not initial drawing. All textbooks in the industry have fixed layouts like this one, so in this case editors simply import or paste text from Word in these boxes. Please notice what happens in the palette when we write some text here. Here you see Q4 is capturing the events and loading the text into the palette. And now let me import an image. Here we have this one. And see how the placeholder takes the name of the image. Let me now fill some of these boxes in order to show you the final product a bit later. Let me open this file here and copy this text, paste here. Let me modify the vertical line, and let's go here to take this one and paste here. And then let's go to the second spread. This other case, we haven't a fixed layout. We must design something. Fortunately, for semantic cross-publishing, nobody uses new boxes when producing books, only when designing templates and libraries, okay? So we can use this resource to prepare those libraries for Q4. One more time, notice what happens in the content palette when I drop some elements to the page. In this case, pay attention to the list of information entities here. We have only two at this moment. But then let me use this library here to drop this element to the page. And you will see here we have three elements now. Q4 is listening to InDesign and adding the new entities each time we drop something to the page. But there is still something important to observe. Nobody knows how many components will be in an information entity. Normally a title will be probably unique, but how many photos could have an article, for example? This is why Q4 is able to distinguish complements or additions from the main pieces in an information entity. If we want to add something to an information entity, we need to use an element, define it as addition, like these ones I have here in this other library. Pay attention now to this information entity. We have only the title and the text, but let me go to select this element and drop it to the page. And now we have also a photo node in this information entity. This allows us to add elements from external sources as well. For example, we have here an addition, which is a video, and runs as a caption in InDesign in this double page. So let me now drop it here, and we'll see that now we have an URL and a statement. When we designed this demo, we planified the protocol would be going to YouTube and copy the entire URL to paste it here. So let me do it. So let me go to the YouTube website and search for video. The first one, okay. Let's copy the URL and go back to InDesign to paste here. Okay, and now let me to simply export and see the final result. Okay, we have here the website with the text we have in InDesign, which has been transformed to another thing. This is the second part. If you remember, we have here the two main text. Okay. So, and finally, if we go down, sorry, we have here the video. Okay. Okay, this is a basic export with a web server system. But at Business Vives, the system that makes and publishes the contents is their CMS. We are sending them JSON data from our XML, so we can send virtually anything to any system. We made an API that can serve to any system to know when a publication has been modified in InDesign and ask for the contents in the proper format. Our XML channel can be also used to edit contents of documents in Design without InDesign. Let me show you how. First of all, I need to quit from this demo mode. So let me check in the document and quitting InDesign and quit everything else, even the Q4 client. And now I need to change the CFG, the configuration client file, to connect to the other system, and also change the plugins from the demo mode to the real mode. Okay, here we have. Let's copy this and paste here. And it's all. Okay, now let me start Q4. Let me check 1 second. Okay, this is okay. Okay. So, okay, here we have, let me start InDesign also. And close the libraries I used before. Okay, this is the complete and last version of Q4, and this is the real environment of a newspaper that we work for, Diario de Avisos. Let me go to this edition here and check out these pages for you. Okay, and as you will see, we have here labeled contents, which is the same technique I used before with images and text. It's a different schema, but the same technology. So you can guess, we have the contents in our database. Okay, so let me undo the checkout, and you will see now the other trick of Q4, which is our XML editor. Let me check out the content now with the Q4 editor. And here we have this is the interface of the application. We have here the main area to see the geometry of the page, which is not relevant because we have this other way to edit the contents. But we have here also a very simple toolbar, which is very convenient to many users. And we can edit the content, simply editing the text here. So let me write something. And we have, we can check the result in design using a shortcut we have here. Check it and preview in English, Command P. So let me, here we have the result in the real InDesign page. And we can also do it with an image. Let me place an image here. Okay, desktop, we have the same image as before here. So let me try with this one, the same image before. Let me frame it to the real size of the box. I can do it well or wrong. And we can print again against the InDesign engine, and this is the result we would obtain if we check in the content. The real power of this is not editing the content out of InDesign, but you are editing the XML in our database, which is the same XML we have used before to export to the digital product, or as in the case in Business Weavers, to fit their CMS. So we have virtually this kind of bridge between two worlds. Let's go back to the